The youthful overseer had provoked the opposition of his older subordinates. Mr. Pilmer was in an unbrotherly mood. Perhaps Mr. Boardman was secretly and humanly jealous. Perhaps Asbury had been unduly rigid in administration. He was reticent and secretive by nature, and had not taken the brethren into his confidence. Necessity dictated a course, and he had followed it. The future episcopus was being shadowed forth. Mr. Wesley had been written to. Both sides had written. This correspondence had created a condition which must be met. Besides, a lust for numbers had tempted the brethren in the northern stations to again relax the disciplinary class rules. Asbury determined to correct the trouble in person, and prepared to ride northward on an official visitation. A journal entry made at this time is significant. March 8th. Rose this morning with a determination to fight or die, and spend an hour in earnest prayer. Lord, keep me ever watchful. There is narration in Tirmidhi in which the prophet of this age has said, an hour of mindful meditation is better than a year of mindless worship. A second quarterly meeting for the Maryland Circuit was called and held at Susquehanna March 29th. The work was found to be prosperous, and everything was set in order. Strict obedience to discipline was again demanded. Strawbridge had already agreed to desist from administering the sacraments, and a good understanding obtained. The helpers were again assigned, and Asbury proceeded, after a brief time, on his visitation to the disturbed societies in New York and Philadelphia. From the middle of April to the 1st of June, he spent his time between these two cities enforcing discipline, or earnestly endeavoring to do so, according to the Wesleyan standard, and evangelizing in the intermediate regions. Naturally, this was to him a time of great stress and concern, but his journal breathes a spirit of confidence and serene courage, and it is doubtful if, at any period of his ministry, he was more active or preached with more evangelical force and effectiveness. Perhaps in this there was a conservation of grace, a providential filling up of his powers of soul and mind, for immediately before him was the season of his life's supremest test.